Hello everybody, SlimKirby here and welcome to the 4th issue of SlimKirby Central. Technically, March's issue was supposed to be issue number 4, but due to a lot of weirdness going on, I decided to stick with a smaller update as opposed to one of these videos. However, I promised I would not do the same thing this month, so here we go with SlimKirby Central for April 2016. So in the past 2 or 3 weeks, not only did I finish one project, but I started and pretty much finished another one too. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is over, and so is the Ice Age, that is the first cycle of projects for 2016. I also started and finished the main game of Sonic CD with one final extra video coming up next week. Super Smash Bros. Brawl has returned as I start covering the rest of the gameplay modes in the game and also show off the new characters that were added into Brawl's game, and that will be happening during the weekend as I normally have planned. I'll also have a video next week during the week to take care of the other Tuesday/Thursday update that Sonic CD will not need since I only have one video for next week. And even Fire Emblem Sacred Stones is starting to get to that point of conclusion as well, with the end of the main game coming this month. And assuming things continue going smoothly, most of the post-game covered before next month's update. So for the first time in a while, I can actually start talking about future projects more than my current ones. And I'm sure many of you guys are really happy about that, because I know I've gotten a lot of comments wondering about when certain games are going to end, when some new stuff's going to start. And while I think these projects have been enjoyable, you know, there always is going to be that point where it's like, okay, well, this has been fun, but are we going to get to some new stuff? Well, guess what? We are going to start getting to some new stuff very soon, so okay. So here's the deal. Once I cover the rest of Sonic CD, I'm going to immediately jump into my next project, which is looking to be Kirby's Return to Dreamland for the Wii. Not really a huge spoiler, as I've been alluding to this game quite a bit during these updates, and I've been wanting to tackle a Kirby game again for a while as it is. Now, unlike I've said before, Super Mario Galaxy will not be following this project. In fact, I might already be working on Super Mario Galaxy by the time Return to Dreamland finishes up anyway. At this point though, it's still too soon to tell and give an exact date, but I'm aiming for a late May or early June release for the first Galaxy video. I'm also planning to get Mega Man 7 off the ground as well, but whether this follows Sacred Stones or Return to Dreamland, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So as far as weekend projects, after Brawl, I'm expecting Brawl to go on for a while, so I'm not really thinking about my next weekend project, but it could be a number of things, and it could actually be something that's been heavily requested for a very long time, because I may actually have my 3DS capture board sooner than you guys actually think, but I'll get into that a little bit later. Beyond that though, I don't exactly have anything more really planned out yet. Should that be a cause for alarm? Definitely not. I've been in this position many times in the past, and I've always figured out what to do with time to spare generally, so also keep in mind that I have planned for this year already Galaxy, Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart DS, Super Paper Mario at the tail end, and assuming things go well with the 3D capture card fund and the purchase of that, I essentially have my first game picked out for that platform as well. I also have an NES marathon in the works that I want to do this year, and people have also been requesting the Walking Dead Michonne DLC, so I may have something for the Halloween month again. So there really isn't any cause for alarm. I've also got my hands on a lot of new games, thanks to MagFest, random game chasing trips, and even my future trip to MomoCon could give me some other games to work with as well. So in a way, everything kind of balances out, so even though I don't exactly have a whole lot planned or a whole lot I'm thinking about, in next month's time I may actually have some more ideas, so I'm really not worried about running out of ideas or anything like that, and neither should you guys. So I think that's going to do it for my YouTube update for this month, so let's move on to something else. Okay, so we've actually had some pretty significant updates on the Twitch front as well since my last full entry of SlimKirby Central. and I don't even know where to begin. But I guess to get started, the first thing I'm going to highlight are the new rules that I put in place on my channel a few weeks ago. Due to various instances of misbehavior, I've added a few new rules to my channel page, and I'm being pretty serious about enforcing those rules too, so if you haven't been to my streams in a while or at all, please check the page and see what has changed in the past few weeks before coming to one of my streams and using the chat room. So please, just as a common courtesy, make sure you are up to date with that. Also, speaking of which, I would like to thank all of my moderators for being very supportive of my new rules and helping me get control of the chat and enforcing those rules. Believe it or not, the last few streams have actually been really good and exactly what I've wanted in terms of moderation and behavior. So, moving forward, I think everything is going to go a lot smoother with the streams. Whenever there are instances of grief and unfortunateness, it's probably going to be the games themselves, but you know, if that's going to be my main concern, we really don't have a whole lot to worry about, honestly. As far as other stream happenings, we have Pokemon Crystal Retro Achievements that has officially ended, and so has Fire Emblem 7 Retro Achievements as well. The next grinding stream I'm going to be doing is Digimon World 3. It's a game that I don't really remember a whole lot about, but I have played it many times in the past. And after the reception of Digimon World 2, I couldn't help but take a look at what this game has to offer as well. As usual, those streams will be every Saturday night, unless I need to call it off for some reason. And as far as Retro Achievements is concerned, I think I'm pretty securely in the top 25, and I've made it to the top 20 on a few occasions as well. I think it's finally getting to the point, though, where we can't be surprised if I get knocked off and have to work my way up again. I'm not the only person doing Retro Achievements after all. There are a lot of very competitive people out there. So my rank may not be increasing as much as it has in the past few months, but I think that where I am right now, I think it's actually really cool that I've made it this far up the list. The fact that I'm even on the first page on the rankings is actually really neat, so I really do enjoy that aspect of it. But yeah, as far as actually going further, I'm going to do my best, I'm going to see what I can do, but I'm not going to stress about it if I cannot make it all the way to the very top. Besides, the person in first place is already way too far ahead anyway, so I don't foresee myself ever catching up with that person, to be quite honest. The final thing I would like to talk about are the re-emergence of blind streams again. Given I have done a few games blind, games like the Game Boy Mega Man games, and maybe a few other games here and there for Retro Achievements, but the last blind game I did was Wario World, and that did not go very well. However, I think what made that stream so bad was just the fact that I didn't stop when I should have stopped, and I was spending too much time on trying to get through the whole game in just one session, obviously not the best idea if I was not enjoying it. However, I think with a different mindset and a lot of new games I need to get through after all of my retro game buys at MagFest and other game-chasing ventures, I need to get through these games, and streaming may be the best way to do so. So, on Wednesdays, I think that's going to be my goal. I'll start playing through a game I recently purchased or added to my collection. If it goes well, I'll keep playing it or save it for another stream, depending on the time and circumstances. If it doesn't go well, I'll stop and play the game on my own time. I think that's going to be the best way to handle it, so yeah, that's probably going to be my Wednesday plan for a while. But as usual, things can always change, and if that's the case, I'll just make adjustments accordingly. And I'll still probably do some Retro Achievement streams on Wednesday as well. I'll figure it out as time goes on, but that's essentially what I am going to be doing for Wednesdays, the whole blind stream thing, because, like I said, there's a lot of games that I have, and I want to get through them, and like I said, I think streaming is going to be the best way to do so, so that is going to be my plan. I've also actually been thinking about doing some speedrun streams as well. Nothing super serious. I'm not going to be going for like world records or anything of that nature, but after watching some speedrunners and certain games being done quickly, it has kind of piqued my interest a little bit. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle this though, or how I'm going to start incorporating these streams, so for now, I'm not going to bother, just letting you know that it has been on my mind, and it could be potentially something I'll do at a future date and time, so just be aware of that, and I'll let you guys know if there's ever going to be a start to that. So I think that's actually going to do it for all the Twitch updates, so let's move on to a very special section, as I'll cover in just a second. Okay, so for the next section, I have eliminated, for this month anyway, the Puddle Plains and website announcements, because there is literally nothing new to report on for either of those sections, so I'm not going to really worry about it. And instead, I will be focusing on some thank yous and some other announcements I'm going to make in regards to some of these thank yous. So first up, my shoutout of the month goes to a very special person. Again, like last time, not a Let's Player, but someone who has been absolutely invaluable to me during my streaming events. Not just in terms of helping me with specific games I'm playing through, or in helping with moderation, but just a really, really solid guy to see in chat in general, because he is quite easily one of the coolest, nicest, and most helpful individuals you will ever meet on this God's green earth. And that person is the one and only Wolf of Storms. I met Wolf of Storms through my friend King Kienzen and various other Speed Gamers community streamers, and point blank, he is a really awesome dude. He's a vicious competitor in Odin Spac's Name That Tune competition. He is really good at speeding through Donkey Kong Country 1, classic Mega Man games, and Kirby's Avalanche, and he is just really, really fun to hang out with and talk to. So thank you, Wolf, for all the support, and for quite literally being at almost every single stream of mine over the past 6, maybe even longer months. You're great to have around, and you've been super, super helpful. So thank you very, very much for all of that. And you are going to get my SlimKirby Star Warriors shoutout of the month. So congratulations for that. And with that out of the way, it's time to give some thank yous to, well, the Star Warrior community in general, because as of April 9th, 2016, I have officially reached my first donation goal of $550, which means that will be used in the purchase of a 3DS capture card for my channel and for my streaming channel as well. I will be aiming big for a new Nintendo 3DS capture card. That way I can have all the perks of the newest 3DS version and playable games, and a shiny new 3DS to boot, because my original 3DS is, well, it's pretty damn old. I pretty much got it the year of release. I think even during the same month as the release of the system, so yeah, it's a very, very old system. It has a lot of defunctionalities. I think even the thumbstick, actually the padding for the thumbstick doesn't even exist anymore, because it just got lost somewhere and I haven't been able to find it. And the battery itself was pretty shot. I had to get a power pack just so I could actually play the game for longer, or play the system for longer than 2 hours. So having a new replacement 3DS and of the newest 3DS version, I think will actually be really, really good. That way, if I ever get into any of those specific new Nintendo 3DS games or features, I will have the system that will be capable of doing that. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be using for my 3DS capture. Like I said, it was about $550, which I do have now, thanks to all of you guys. Special thank you to Pixel Plume and Meowsticks24. Each of them have donated like $100 or more to my channel, and I can't even begin to say how amazing that is to actually have someone who's actually supported my channel to that degree. And you guys really, really helped out the Capture Card Fund to a huge degree, and thank you too very much for just donating so much of your money and your support to my channel. Also, a big thank you to Flame Chocobo. I think that he's also donated around that amount as well. If anything, he's probably donated maybe even a little more than that, because he's given a lot of big donations at different times, so he's definitely given a lot as well, but especially Meowsticks and Pixel Plume for donating, they've at least donated, at least at one point, $100 donation all at once, and that's just incredible to have the amount of support like that. So again, I really, really do thank you guys, and not just the ones who have donated, but even just all the people who have been supporting my channel and my streaming channel for as long as you have. It's really cool to know that I have so much support from people, and it's awesome. It's honestly really, really awesome, so that's all I have to really say about it. But yeah, because I've met this goal, and because it might be a small bit until I do my first 3DS project, or even my first 3DS streaming event, even once I get the device, I figured to further show my appreciation for all the donations, I will be hosting a 24-hour stream event at some point in the future. During this stream, I'll be doing a marathon of some kind. I'm thinking either doing another Mario marathon, a Kirby marathon, or maybe even a Mario Party marathon, where I basically spend the entire stream playing games from that specific series. Given I won't be playing all the games, but you kind of get where I'm coming from. I'm just going to be spending the entire day playing through that series and a lot of the main games of that series. I'm not limiting myself to just those 3 game series either. Those are just the main ones I'm interested in. If you guys have any ideas, definitely post in the video description, or not video description, video comments about what kinds of marathons you'd like to see from me, and maybe I'll get on that. But yeah, I picked Mario because Mario is always that go-to marathon. Mario is my favorite series. The games are very easy for me to get through, so I figured that was a good choice. Kirby, I haven't done a Kirby marathon in a while, and that might be fun to try again now that I've actually gotten more experience with some of the other games, so that's going to be on the table as well. And Mario Party, I mean, come on, I'm known for Mario Party, and I think that would be a fun one to actually go through as well. Just spend the entire game, or the entire day playing Mario Party games. And with 10 games in the series, I could potentially get through each game of the Mario Party series, excluding all the handheld Mario Parties. So those are why I selected those 3 series. But again, I'm open to other ideas as well. So, you know, let me know what you think, and I'll move forward with that whenever I feel like it. So, yeah, I haven't actually chose a date for this yet either. I do not have a date planned. And, hell, as you can see, I don't really even have the theme picked out either. So, but I would like to do this stream in the next 2 months if possible. Whether it's before or after MomoCon, I don't really know. But, not to mention, I also want to make sure I'm far enough ahead in my projects so I can actually plan an entire day for me to do this without getting too far behind. So yeah, I guess in regards to this, just kind of wait until I have a video announcement for this stream. And when that happens, I'll have a date planned, I'll have a theme planned. Just give me your ideas and what you think in the video description, or video comments below, and I will start working on that. But yeah, that's going to be just my little thank you for all of you guys supporting me for so long, because seriously, this was a lot of fun to do, to actually open donations for you guys, and you know, it was nice to see that people actually came through. It's nice to see that I'm going to actually get a 3DS capture card. I'll be able to cover a lot more games on my channel, and that's just awesome. Like, that's so awesome. You guys have no idea. But with that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and close this out, and we'll move on to some real talk and then close out the video proper. So, just a second. Okay, I think that covers all the main points from this video, so I guess it's time for some real talk. The part of the video where I get into how things are going with me and just covering a bunch of other little miscellaneous things. Nothing really important news-wise or update-worthy, but just to give you guys a glimpse of what's been going on with me. April will be concluding in a few weeks, which means the year of 2016 is already 1/3 over, and that's really incredible to think about, because it seriously feels like 2016 just started. Maybe the rest of the months will get longer and the days themselves, but still, just thinking about how much time has passed in just a short period of time is nothing short of unbelievable, and almost a little scary if you think about it. But I personally just got back from my yearly vacation with my parents to our condo in Orlando, Florida, which, as usual, was a very nice and a welcome change from the norm. I had a very relaxing vacation and feel like I got a nice boost of energy and determination, which I think will do wonders for my projects and streams moving forward. I've also felt like I have finally figured out a system that works for me in terms of my daily workout and what I will need to do to lose some weight and become healthy, which I think is a huge move forward and morale boost for me in general, so that's always good. On the flip side, I have started losing a bit of faith in the prospect of getting a job, or at least the kind of job I want to get in addition to my whole YouTube thing and streaming thing. This being the 4th month of my search and still coming up empty has kind of been demoralizing, And with my paychecks from Maker Studios being as random as ever, it's hard to know how things will actually end up for me, but I've always heard that the best way to keep going is to try and keep doing what you love, and right now I love my channel on YouTube, and I love streaming, so I'm going to keep on doing it and having a good time in the process, so let's just keep going strong, folks. That's really all I have to say in regards to moving forward, I guess. With May coming up, that means my potential trip to MomoCon is getting ever so much closer. The prospect of going and seeing one of my best friends again and checking out a new area, because I've never been to Atlanta before, is a very exciting possibility for me. However, this trip is not going to be without its challenges. For one, I do want to drive down there, which the drive itself will not be too bad. My family and I pretty much took the same route when we went to Florida. The only difference being that we kept going once we got to Atlanta. In this case, I'd be actually staying near the Atlanta area. So it's not going to be as long as that trip, but it's still going to be quite the challenge. And this would be the first time I'm actually doing a road trip by myself with such a large distance. The largest distance I've had before is basically driving to my college, which is about an hour away, but this is like easily 8 or 9 times as long, probably even longer than that, so it's going to be a huge trip. It's going to be a huge undertaking, but in a way I'm actually kind of looking forward to it too, because it's going to be a very nice learning experience. It's going to be a nice, like, growing experience, and, you know, just the thought of actually going to a different part of the world, or, well, not a different part of the world, but a different part of the country, and just kind of, you know, spending time with one of my friends, going to a new place, making some new experiences, possibly even meeting some new people, is just a really, really cool thing, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. So I'll let you guys know and give you some further information about MomoCon when it's actually approaching next month. I'm not sure if tickets are still going to be a thing, if they can be purchased or not, but regardless, that is what's going to be on the agenda, so I'll probably have more to say about that in May's update. But as far as April's update, I think that's going to do it for this month. So I want to thank everybody for listening, watching, whatever you did in the prospect of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next month for May 2016. Hope you enjoy my videos, my streams, everything else under the horizon, and I will talk to you guys later. Later, folks.